I watched you drift without a sound, like love was something you'd outgrown. I held us up when you let down, pretended I was strong alone. I felt the distance in your touch, still told myself it wasn't much. I stayed through nights you disappeared, and swallowed every silent fear. I kept believing you would choose the love I kept on losing. I stayed longer than you did, loved harder, hoped again. You left before the truth came in. I stayed and felt the end. I carried us when you let go. I fought when you were through. You walked away when it got real. I stayed longer than you did. I learned your moods, your quiet signs, the days you needed space to breathe. I crossed my heart 1,000 times, so you were halfway out with me. I made excuses for your doubt. I turned your silence inside out. I stayed when leaving made more sense, and broke myself in self-defense. I kept believing you'd come back, while losing parts I can't get back. I stayed longer than you did, loved harder, hoped again. You left before the truth came in. I stayed and felt the end. I carried us when you let go. I fought when you were through. You walked away when it got real. I stayed longer than you did. Maybe love shouldn't feel this heavy. Maybe I should've let you leave, but I was loyal to a future you stopped believing in with me. I stayed when all the signs were clear that I was loving you alone. I stayed longer than you did, through every crack and tear. You chose the door, I chose the pain. I chose to keep you near. I won't regret the love I gave, but now I finally choose to walk away with what's left of me. I stay longer than you did. I stayed, but I won't anymore. We talk like time was on our side, like love was something we could ride through every doubt, through every storm. We swore our hearts were fully formed. You said my name like it was home, like you'd never plans you never did. Saved our photos, hid the truth. I waited through your growing space while you were already leaving me. You held my hand, but not my heart. You loved me, and just not that hard. I stayed quiet, you stayed kind, and slowly slipped out of my life. I loved you more than I should show. You loved me just enough to go. We almost meant forever. We were close enough to try. I saw a future in your eyes. We saw a moment passing by. We almost beat the ending, almost learned how not to fall. We didn't break from hate or fire. We just didn't last at all. Maybe in another time, when we're braver, when we try. But here and now, we let it fade. Love undone by what we didn't say. I still wonder now and then who we'd be if we held on. We almost meant forever, and sometimes that's the hardest part. To lose a love that never failed, just slowly slipped apart. We were wrong, we weren't cold, just not enough, not whole. We almost meant forever, but almost all we know. I loved you in the spaces between your words and sighs, in moments no one noticed, when truth was hard to hide. I watched you from the corner of everything you were. I held my breath around you so I wouldn't make it worse. I didn't need the spotlight, I just needed you to stay. I loved you more in the quiet, where nothing had to be said. When your hand rested in mine and the world slowed in my head. I didn't need all the noise, I didn't need you to shout. I loved you more in the quiet, before love found a way out. I stayed when it was easier to walk the other way. I learned how to read your heart by the things you couldn't say. I softened all my feelings so you wouldn't feel the weight. I made myself smaller just to keep you safe. I thought silence meant we were strong, but silence learned how to move on. I loved you more in the quiet, when nothing had to be said. When your hand rested in mine and the world slowed in my head. I didn't need all the noise, I didn't need you to shout. I loved you more in the quiet, before love found a way out. Maybe love shouldn't whisper if it's meant to survive. Maybe I hid too much of me just to keep you in my life. I was loud inside my heart, but quiet toward loved you more in the quiet. Now the quiet's all I have. Your voice fades into memory like a photograph gone sad. I won't blame the way we ended or the words we never found. I loved you more in the quiet, and I loved you all the way down. I loved you in the quiet. I still pour one cup too many, still listen for your key. Every night I swear I hear you walking back to me. Your name still lives on my tongue like it never said goodbye. I learned how to keep breathing, but not how to ask why. You said I'd be okay with time, like love just heals on its own. I'm the girl you left behind, smiling like I'm doing fine, holding pieces of a life you stopped loving halfway through. You moved on, I lost my mind, trying not to rewind. I'm still here, still kind, just the girl you left behind. I packed up all the memories, but I kept the ache. I tell everyone I'm stronger now, but strength still breaks. I see you in familiar streets, in songs we used to play. I act like it doesn't hurt anymore, but it hurts every day. You don't see the nights I cry or the way I say your name inside. I'm the girl you left behind, smiling like I'm doing fine, holding pieces of a life you stopped loving halfway through. You moved on, I lost my mind, trying not to rewind. I'm still here, still kind, just the girl you left behind. Maybe one day you'll look back and wonder how I survived, loving you with everything while you were already gone inside. I didn't scream, I didn't fight, I just disappeared at night. I was the girl you left behind, but I'm learning how to shine. I still ache, I still rewind, but this heart is still mine. You let go, I stay kind, I rebuilt what you declined. I'm not broken, just redesigned. I was the girl you left behind. I was the girl you left behind, and I'm still standing. I smiled when you said you were tired, said I understood, I always do. held the door instead of your hand, said, "Take care, not please, don't go." I made it easy for you to leave, like I didn't need you so. I thought love meant staying kind, even when I was breaking inside. I let you leave too gently, didn't ask you to explain. I wrapped my heart in silence so you wouldn't feel the pain. I could have fought, I could have said all the words stuck in my chest, but I loved you more than honesty. I let you leave too gently. I told my friends I was okay, learned how to laugh on cue. I cleaned the house, I changed the sheets, like that would erase you. I replay every quiet choice, every moment I stayed calm. Wonder if you would have stayed if I just held on. I confused being strong with letting go, and now I'm alone with what I know. I let you leave too gently, didn't ask you to explain. I wrapped my heart in silence so you wouldn't feel the pain. I could have fought, I could have said all the words stuck in my chest, but I loved you more than honesty. I let you leave too gently. Maybe love shouldn't be polite when it's dying in plain sight. Maybe I should have been louder instead of losing you quietly. I chose peace over truth and paid for it with you. I let you leave too gently, now I say your name alone. I thought giving you freedom would feel like letting go. I won't regret the love I gave, but I finally confess I loved you more than my own heart. I let you leave too gently. I let you leave too gently. I let you leave, and I stayed. I don't cry the way I used to, the nights are quieter now. I learned how to breathe without you, but I still break down somehow. I packed away the photos, stop replaying all the words. I'm doing everything they tell me. I'm healing, but it still hurts. They say time is on my side, but time doesn't hear me at night. I'm healing, but it still hurts, like a bruise you can't see. I smile like I'm getting better, but pain still lives in me. I'm stronger than I was then, but stronger doesn't mean okay. I'm healing, but it's still strangers. I sleep in a different bed. I tell myself I'm moving forward, but I walk back in my head. I don't reach for your name anymore. I don't ask if you're fine, but some nights I miss the version of me that thought you were mine. I don't fall apart like before, I just take a little more. I'm healing, but it still hurts, like a bruise you can't see. I smile like I'm getting better, but pain still lives in me. I'm stronger than I was then, but stronger doesn't mean okay. I'm healing, but it still hurts in quiet ways. Maybe healing isn't clean, maybe it's learning how to breathe with a heart that still remembers everything it used to be. I don't bleed, I don't cry, I just feel it pass me by. I'm healing, but it still hurts, and that doesn't mean I'm weak. It means I loved you honestly, and I'm still learning how to be. I'll keep going anyway, even on my hardest days. I'm healing, but it still hurts, and I'm okay. I'm healing, one breath at a time. You never meant to break me, you just didn't know how to stay. You held my hand like a promise, then let it slip away. You love me in the easiest ways, the ones that don't last long. I fell for every gentle thing that felt safe but felt wrong. You weren't cruel, you weren't unkind, you just weren't mine. You were my softest mistake, the kind you don't regret, the one that still aches when I try to forget. I don't hate you, I don't blame, I just love past the edge. You were my softest mistake, and I'd make you again. I kept the nights we whispered low, like secrets meant to fade. I ignored the signs we both knew, but we're too scared to say. You stayed just close enough to feel like something real. I gave you more than I should have, because of how you made me feel. I knew the truth beneath the calm, but I still held on. You were my softest mistake, the kind you don't regret, the one that still aches when I try to forget. I don't hate you, I don't blame, I just love past the and lost you just the same. You were my softest mistake, but not a wasted one. You taught my heart how to break without coming undone. I'll carry what we were without shame, without regret. You were my softest mistake. I'm not sorry I meant. You were my softest mistake, and I still feel it. I thought love meant holding tighter, fixing things before they break. I thought if I stayed a little longer, you'd choose me, you'd stay. I ignored the cracks in your voice, the distance in your eyes. I kept forgiving every silence, calling it time. I gave more than I could afford, still thought love would give me more. Oh, I learned love the hard way, by loving someone halfway in, by fighting for a feeling you already quit. I learned love the hard way, by staying when I should have gone. I broke my heart to save us, but I was wrong. I thought pain meant it was real, that tears meant I was strong. I thought being needed meant I belonged. I bent myself in every shape just to fit your space. I called it compromise, but I erased my face. I mistook hurt for devotion and silence for emotion. Learn love the hard way, by loving someone halfway in, by fighting for a feeling you already quit. I learned love the hard way, by staying when I should have gone. I broke my heart to save us, but I was wrong. Maybe love isn't proving how much pain you can take. Maybe it's being chosen without having to beg. I don't regret the girl I was. She loved the best she could. I learned love the hard way, but I learned it true. I learned how to walk away from someone who never chose. I learned love doesn't hurt like that when it's meant to stay. I lost you to find myself. I learned love the hard way, and I won't forget, but I won't repeat it. I still take the long way driving past places we used to go. I say I'm fine, I keep surviving, but there's so much you don't know. I've met new faces, tried new nights, slept in beds that aren't your own, but every Every time I miss you, it feels like home. I don't reach out, I don't call, but you're still my quiet fall. Missing you feels like home, like something I never outgrew. It's where my heart still wanders when it doesn't know what to do. I've learned to live on my own, but when I feel alone, missing you feels like home. I hear you laugh in crowded rooms, in songs I didn't choose. I don't want you back, I swear I just miss what we used to be too. You knew my fears before I spoke, my silence, my slow goodbye. No one else knows me that gently, no matter how hard I try. I don't live there anymore, but my heart still knows the door. And missing you feels like home, like something I never outgrew. It's where my heart still wanders when it doesn't know what to do. I've learned to live on my own, but when I feel alone, missing you feels like home. Maybe home isn't a person, maybe it's a memory, a place where I felt safe enough to just be me. I don't stay, I don't return, I just visit when it hurts. Missing you feels like home, but I don't live there now. I carry it inside my chest, and it teaches me how to love again, to let it go without feeling lost. Missing you feels like home, no matter the cost. I'm okay out on my own, but missing you still feels like home. Still feels like home. You fell asleep so easily, your breath slow on my skin. I stared at the ceiling quietly, holding everything in. You said we'd talk about it tomorrow, like tomorrow was safe. But I knew by the way you turned away, you were already halfway gone. I didn't want to wake you up with the truth I couldn't say. I cried after you slept, when the room went still. I let the tears fall silently, so you never felt the guilt. I loved you at your softest while you were drifting from me. I cried after you slept, so you wouldn't see. I wiped my face in the bathroom like practice being okay. I climbed back into your arms like nothing had changed. You whispered love you in your sleep like it still meant the same. But I knew I was holding on to something already fading. I chose to hurt alone so you could rest in peace. I cried after you slept, when the room went still. I let the tears fall silently, so you never felt that's when I lost you. Not when you walked away, but when I learned to hide my pain just to make you stay. I didn't scream, I didn't fight, I just cried myself quiet. I cried after you slept, and you never knew. I held us together in the dark while you were already through with love and human breaking where no one could see. I cried after you slept and let you dream. You slept like everything was fine. I cried like I knew the end. I cried after you slept again. I held it together in the daylight, smiled like I knew what to do. I told myself I'd be okay as long as I still had you. I walked through storms without shaking. I faced every fear in my chest. I was stronger than I ever knew. I was brave until you left. I thought love would keep me standing. I didn't know it could disappear. I was brave until you left, until the silence called my name, until the nights got heavier and nothing felt the same. I faced the world, I faced my past, I faced everything but this. I was brave until you left, and I broke like this. I said all the right calm words when you said you needed space. I didn't beg, I didn't cry, I just watched your face. I packed away my shaking hands, pretended I was strong, but courage only lasts so long when love is gone. I didn't fall when you walked out, I fell when I was alone. I was brave until you left, until your side of the bed was cold, until the future we talked about was a story never told. I held my breath, I held my pride, I held on to what we were. I was brave until you left, then it hurt. Maybe bravery is staying quiet when your heart is screaming loud. Maybe I was never fearless, I just trusted you too much. I didn't lose my strength that day, I lost the place I felt safe. I was brave until you left, but I'm learning how to stand with shaking knees and open scars. I'm still who I am. I survived the worst goodbye, I survived the ache it dealt. I was brave until you left. Now I'm brave for myself. I was brave because I loved. I'm stronger because you left. You stopped asking how my day was. I stopped telling you the truth. We learned how to share a silence like it wasn't cutting through. You kissed me like a habit, not like something you would lose. I felt lonely lying next to you, and that's when I knew love should feel like shelter, not a place I hide my pain. Love doesn't hurt this quietly. It doesn't fade this slow. It doesn't make you feel alone in someone else's arms at home. If I'm breaking silently, if I'm crying in my sleep, then this isn't love anymore. Love doesn't hurt this quietly. I started lowering my voice so I wouldn't start a fight. I memorized your distance every restless night. I blame myself for everything, even things you wouldn't try. I kept choosing understanding while you chose goodbye. I stayed calm to keep the peace, but peace cost all of me. Love doesn't hurt this quietly. It doesn't fade this slow. It doesn't make you feel alone in someone else's arms at home. If I'm breaking silently, if I'm crying in my sleep, then this isn't love anymore. Love doesn't hurt this quietly. Maybe love should feel louder when it's slipping away. Maybe hearts should be held, not asked to stay. I didn't need perfection, I just needed you to care. Love doesn't hurt this quietly, and now I finally see, if loving you meant losing myself, then you were right for me. I'll take the ache of leaving over, staying incomplete, because real love wouldn't let me believe love doesn't hurt this quietly. I stayed longer than I should, calling pain loyalty, but I'm walking away knowing this love doesn't hurt this quietly.